5 months ago, I built my first series of terrariums. The first one I built was in this jar, and it didn't survive. I had a maidenhair fern, and in fact, I wrote an entire blog with a series of steps how to put it together. And I really think where my error occurred is including sphagnum moss. I had watched a number of, I guess you would say, professionals on YouTube, masters of plant care, if you will, and sphagnum moss was used to separate the rocks and the charcoal from the soil. I don't think that worked in my case. I think that I drowned my plant in the moisture. So moving forward, my terrarium 2 and my terrarium 3 are doing fabulous. In terrarium 2, I have another maidenhair fern and a curly fern, and they're just doing they far exceeded my expectations. Just to keep the maidenhair alive in the first place was amazing to me. In the terrarium 3, I have a rabbit's foot fern, and it's so cute. I'm going to take the lids off on both of these and show you. Inside on the rocks for the rabbit's hair fern, I have the little tiny rabbit's feet, the little furry rabbit's feet reaching out over the rocks. And then when I open this one, you'll just see the condition of the maidenhair. Well, like I said, it's beyond my expectations. This is inside terrarium number 3 with the rabbit's foot fern. And I mean, look at all the new growth. It's just doing wonderful in this humid environment. I'm going to try to stick my hand in there and reveal some of the little, I don't know if it's focusing well enough, but they're little feet down there. Not the proper term, but they come out. Maybe if I come down this way, you can see them. There, that's better. These cute little furry protrusions come out over the rocks. Doing great. So pleased. I do regular maintenance on my terrariums. So once I planted them, they're not sealed forever, because I go in and I look for fronds that are moldy or look like they're in poor condition and remove them, so that I'm trying to keep it just the healthiest fronds and everything of the plant in the terrarium. So the terrarium is in the best condition it could possibly be at all times. This is terrarium 2, and I thought I'd start out here on the side, and the reflection may not be the best, but I can see little tiny baby shoots of the maidenhair fern. And same on the curly fern. There's just little baby ones, so that means they're both doing very well. If I come up here and look down, look at my maidenhair. Look at my curly fern. They are doing wonderful. And again, this is 5 months. I'm in shock. I've never had a maidenhair that I was able to keep alive for this period of time. Lots of humidity in the terrarium, and just like with the rabbit's hair fern, I'm looking at both of these for any signs of dead fronds or mold which I will remove, and then I will spray the leaves again with water to keep the humidity high. I've sprayed inside each terrarium and put the lid back on. And you can probably see the moisture, particularly on the maidenhair fern leaves. And also the terrariums tend to fog up a little bit when you do that. But then it settles down. I don't think I added earlier that I also rotate the terrariums. The terrarium 2, I do a full 180 every couple of weeks to keep the growth balanced. Terrarium number 3, I would say it's probably a quarter turn, much more frequently. Just trying to keep the balance. So I'm obviously spending a lot of time on these, but I'm so thrilled. And I'm happy to share my successes and failures in hopes that it will encourage you to try too.